Okay, let's learn how to vibrate. I'm gonna do this in two parts. Part one, we're gonna learn how to move the top joint of your fingers, okay? And then part two, we're gonna use that technique and make that into a real vibrato. All right, so the first thing you need to learn when you vibrate, well, first of all, your hand needs to be super relaxed, okay? Everything needs to be relaxed. Otherwise, if you're stiff, you can't vibrate, okay? And you can't shift it either. So yeah, just keep your hand loose. It's always better to be that way. So that's the first thing. All right, and then the first thing you need to learn is how to bend and straighten your top joint, okay? Something like this. Now, we do this, but we don't intentionally move your joint up and down or bend and straighten. This should be only a byproduct of either your wrist is moving or your arm is moving, okay? They just move because your arm is moving or your wrist is moving, okay? So that's what we're gonna learn first. All right, and I would use my second finger for this. Probably second finger is the easiest finger to vibrate, learning how to vibrate. If you want to use 3 or 1, sure, that's fine, but I think second is the easiest one, so I'm going to use my second finger. So you place your second finger on the A string, maybe D string. I will place it on A string for now, okay, like you would normally. In probably like the second position or so, first position is okay, around D, C-sharp D area, okay. So that's step 0. You just place your second finger how you would normally, okay. Now step 1, so I'm gonna do this in four steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. So step 1, you keep your second finger in the same spot, but move your arm as high as you can. Now I'm gonna show this to you with the arm vibrato because the motion of your arm is bigger than the motion of your wrist. It's just easier to see what's going on. And eventually you can do arm vibrato or wrist vibrato. It's up to you. You can combine the two. That's something you need to kind of experiment and search for, okay? If you can do a great arm vibrato, that's fine. If you're gonna do a wrist vibrato, and if you can do a good one, that's fine too. So that's up to you. But for now, I'm gonna show it to you with the arm vibrato. Right, so step 1, you keep your finger in the same spot, but move your arm as high as you can, like to the third position or something like this, okay? Then because your finger's not moving, do you see how my joint bends quite a bit? See? So that's step 1. Okay, and then step 2, you move all the way up. Like, this is like 4th position or something right now. Okay, so that's step 2. Now, see, do you see how my fingers still bent quite a bit? Because I went like this, and then I just kept going up this way. Okay, so your finger should be bent quite a bit right now. That's step 2. So let's go from the other side. So step 0, you just place your finger like you would normally. Step 1, you keep your second finger in the same spot, but move your arm, so including your thumb. See, it should move up as high as it can without moving your second finger. So your second finger bends quite a bit. That's step 1. Now step 2, you go up all the way. So your fingers still bend. Okay. Now step 3, you do backwards. So you keep your second finger in the same spot, move your arm and thumb as far as you can. Now do you see my finger straightens? It's like I'm going like this, right? I'm keeping my second finger here and then pulling my finger with my arm like that. So my finger should kind of go straight. See? So that's step 3. So keep your second finger in the same spot, move your arm down, move your thumb down to the first position or as far as you can go, and see your finger straightens. That's step 3. And step 4, you go back to where you started from. So your finger should be still pretty straight, like this. You may not be completely straight at this point, but it's pretty straight, see? So that's step 4. Okay, so let's go from the other side. So we were at step 2, right? Okay, so step 3, you keep your second finger in the same spot, don't move this. and move your thumb down, move your arm down as far as you can, and you see this, your finger goes straight. That's step 3. And in step 4, you go back all the way. That's step 4. Okay, so step 1, step 2, step 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, my fingers are bending and straightening, but I'm not intentionally moving my joint here. It just moves because my arm's moving up and down, and my hand stays loose. So whatever my arm does, my finger reacts. Okay, so step 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now once you can do that, then the next thing we do is to combine 1 and 2, and then combine step 3 and 4. So 1, 2 becomes one motion, and then step 3, step 4 becomes one motion. So here's 1, 2 together, and here's 3, 4 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just like a fast motion of 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2 becomes in one motion, and then 3, 4 becomes in one motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see how my arm, thumb, everything's moving up and down, and my fingers reacting to it? See? So that's the next thing we do. Okay, so once you can do this, then you can try to make this a little bit smoother motion, just going up and down without stopping in the middle. See? Okay? Then, if you can do this, then instead of moving this far, try to shorten the distance of the travel. See, like this, until your second finger stops moving up and down. Here. See, my second finger isn't moving anymore. I mean, my joint's moving, but it's not traveling up and down anymore. Okay, so that's where you want to stop, like, see? So again, we start like this, shorten the distance until your second finger stops moving. Okay, again from the other side, you start like this, right? And then you shorten the distance until it stops. Okay, so at this point, your thumb is still moving up and down. Your arm's still moving quite a bit. That's, yeah, pretty close to what we have been doing before. Maybe a little bit less, but it's pretty close, right? Okay, we're almost there. If you can do this, all you have to do now is to stop the motion of your thumb. So from here, you try to stop the thumb, see? So again, your arm still moves up and down quite a bit. And because of it, your fingers moving, see, bending and straightening. So from the other side, it's a little bit hard to see because you can't see the thumb anymore. So here's with my thumb still moving up and down. And then I stop the motion of my thumb there. So I'm left with this arm motion going up and down. And because my arm is moving, my fingers, the joints moving. Okay? So that's part 1. And then we're going to make this motion into real vibrato in part 2. So I'll see you in my next video.